Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial on how to join a channel in Vivox using Vivox in Unity. So here's the UI that I set up. It's a little basic, but it's better than the last video. So this is actually what I created to test Vivox features. It's a very basic chat application, kind of a lobby type thing, but not really. But so I hope to make this better, and then eventually we'll turn this into something that's similar to this. But until then, let's stick with the basics. So if you want to match this UI or create something similar, this is all the UI that I've used. You will need to import a TMP package, TMPro, Text Mesh Pro. Right here, you got the Text Mesh Pro, and all you got to do is go to Window, Package Manager, and find Text Mesh Pro right here, and then just import it. You don't have to import the samples if you don't want to. I didn't. Okay, so I got text, I got buttons, I got input fields, TMPs, and this is basically everything that's right here. I will say though, for the message panel, just go over it real quick. We do have a mask on it, and we have a container, which is an image right here, an image, and this has a grid layout group, and we have a scroll view on the message panel, and the scroll view. So in here, the source image is oh, don't worry about that. Okay, so in the scroll rect, the content is the container, which is this one, which is the image, and I think that's what you need to know. And visibility, I put permanent, and movement type is clamped. Okay, and then the reason why is so basically you'll get something. Let's see if it does it. Okay, sorry, I deleted the code. Sorry about that. Okay, so in here, what do I got? So I'm instantiating a prefab, and all it is basically a text message. It's a text message prefab. So, and we'll just instantiate this a bunch of times at the start, and the parent of this object is the container, which is an image, which is what is right here, the container. That's the image, which has the grid layout, and the cell size is, you can match the cell size if you want, but that basically, if you don't know, it decides the width and the height. So this is the width and this is the height of everything that's going to go in this grid layout. So an example would be, oh, I did it again, sorry, I forgot to save. Okay, so save that, let Unity recompile. Okay, so basically you're gonna get something like this, and then it's gonna be a scrollable message window. And so on the scroll view, now the container, so the width, if you click on this, the message, and then go to the scene, so this is the width of each message, and then the height is would be 200. Okay, so enough about that. Alright, but that's basically what's going to happen if you follow how I did the message panel. Okay, and then these are all the other UI elements, and then login credentials, that is empty game object with the login credential script, and these are all the variables that I exposed, which are right here. And you don't have to set your UI up like I did, but you should set something up similar, that way you're able to log in and everything. You can even just have all the messages go to the console in Unity instead of having it appear in this little green area where my messages are going to appear. Okay, anyways, in case you were wondering, so this container, which is the image, which is a child of the message panel, So I have it really long, and that's so you can scroll it. You have to make this object really long. Like if you only make it as big as this green area, it's not going to scroll. Even if game objects are like, even if I instantiate a bunch of game objects, I have to make this container really big in order for it to process and scroll. Just wanted to mention that in case anyone was wondering. Alright, so I'm going to create a region. If you press Control KS in Visual Studio 19, this little window will pop up and you just choose region. And then I'm just going to put login methods for now. And I'm going to copy all this login code, paste it in there, and then I can minimize this, and it says login methods. And this is just a trick I learned from some OGs that I learned from watching their tutorials. I'm gonna call this one join channel methods. Alright, so we're gonna, to join a channel, we're going to create an variable up top, and it's going to be a private iChannel session. Call it channel session or whatever you want to call it. Channel session. I think that's, yeah, that'll work for now. Okay, and so create a method called public void join channel. And in the top, we'll leave it blank for now, but we'll put some parameters in there in a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna want to create in channel ID. Channel ID equals new channel ID. And in here, we're gonna want, actually, it either takes a URI or the issuer name and domain of the people. The name of the channel actually takes a channel name. We'll do so up here the first one will be, first parameter will be channel name. Put that channel name in there, and then the domain, and then we're going to get the channel session that we just created earlier. We're going to do begin connect, and so right here it says bool connect audio, connect text, switch transmission, access token, async callback. So we're gonna put true for the audio, and we'll put true for text. You can leave that false if you want. And switch transmission, so this basically means when you join a new channel, if you're in another channel previously, it's going to stop transmitting to that channel and now transmit to this new channel you've created. If you choose false, then you'll create a new channel, but you won't hear anything and you won't be able to send text because you put false. Alright, we'll put true. And the access token, so kind of like with the login situation, we're going to do channel session instead of login session, and then get connect token. And it takes the key, token key, and the time span. And then it wants another callback. I explained that in the login video. If y'all haven't watched that one, I would watch that. Get a little more understanding of how this works, or you can just look up lambda expressions and delegates and events and async callbacks, and then you'll kind of understand what's going on here if you don't want to watch my first login video, alright, of this series. Okay, so in here we'll do channels, try channel session dot end connect, and then we're going to take this result. AR is async result, just short for that. and then AsyncResult. Alright, and then we're going to catch any exceptions. And so all this code is basically in the Vivox documentation. They give you an example, but I'm just showing you, kind of walking you through it if you didn't understand their documentation, because it is kind of hard to understand if you're new to C# or Unity. At least it was for me. Okay, so now we're going to add the parameters to the method. So we're going to do bool is audio, bool is text. These are to define our channels, which are basically down here, and that way it'll be more readable code. We're going to do channel type. Okay, so what I didn't tell you is in the channel ID, you can pass a parameter for what type of channel you want. So in here, we're just going to pass the channel type, but I can create like a normal channel type. And then we have echo, we have non-positional, and we have positional. So non-positional is like for text applications, voice chat, like messenger kind of. Positional is for if you're trying to implement this into a video game, you're going to want to use positional. And what it does is basically where your character is, you'll hear sound based on how far away you are from a person, so it'll sound different. Echo, I'm not really sure what that does. You can look it up in the documentation, but I feel like most people aren't going to need to use that. Maybe I'll explain that at a later time. And so we'll just pass in these variables down here. Is audio, and then is text right there. Alright, and what is this? That is connect. Oops, I did that wrong. Sorry. That's going to be is audio. This one will be is text. Oh shoot. Is text, and then we can also pass in the switch transmission up here if you want. Bool switch transmission, and switch transmission. Okay, so we're gonna create some binds for our channel like we did with the login. Oh shoot. So public void bind channel callback listeners. Pass in a bool, call it bind, and this time we're going to pass in an iChannel session as a parameter. Call it channel session or channel, whatever. And then if bind channel session I should probably call this something different because our channel session up here is called channel session. So we'll call this one channel sesh. Alright, channel sesh. What am I doing? Oh, so if you forget, the lightning mark is the event we're trying to subscribe to. Alright, so we want to subscribe to the property changed event. So anytime the status of the channel changes, it will call the event that's attached to the property changed. And we're going to need a property changed event argument to go with the property changed event handler. So we'll create a method down here, public void, and then I'm going to use on channel status changed. we're going to pass in an object as the sender and property changed event arguments. We're going to call this channel args for arguments. Okay. Now I'm going to go back up to my bind channel callback listeners, and we're going to pass in the on channel status changed. On channel status changed. Alright, so we have now subscribed. So we got to unsubscribed. We got to add that option. Copy that. Add the minus to unsubscribe. Alright, so we're going to want to place this is right before we log in to this new channel. Oh shoot, I forgot again. Alright, so the channel session, what we need to do is what do we need to do? Okay, figured it out. So what we need to do is channel session equals login session, or the login session get channel session, and then pass in the channel ID. Alright, now this will work. Okay, so we're subscribed, and then right after that we're gonna bind our listeners, bind channel callback listeners. It's gonna be true. We'll pass in the channel session, and then we gotta catch it. So in case there's an error, you want to unbind. So false, change that to false, and pass in the channel session again. Okay, so we're gonna, in the on channel status change method, we're gonna create an iChannel session variable. I'm gonna call it source, and it's gonna be the sender, and we're gonna cast it. So right now it's an object, so Unity doesn't know what information this is. It just knows that it's a plain old object. So we're gonna cast it back to an iChannel session. So we're basically telling Unity what this object is, and we're gonna use this object in a switch statement, and this is gonna switch between the source's channel state. So depending on the channel state will depend on what code is run in this statement. So we'll make a case, and then a break, and then I'm gonna copy this 3 more times. Okay, and so the first case will be channel state, if I can find it, channel state. Sorry about that, it's connection state, and we're gonna do connecting. In this case we'll do connection state connected, connection state disconnecting, and connection state disconnected. Alright, and in here you can just do simple debug.log statements saying what's going on. Copy that, paste it. Alright, so I'm just going to do channel connecting, channel connected. You can also do the string interpolation, and then right here instead of channel we can actually get the source and channel and then its name, and it'll say what channel name is connected. Debug, do the same thing again. Source, channel name, disconnecting, and I'm just going to copy that, control copy, add the string interpolation, and bam, change that to disconnected. Alright, and so now whenever the status changes, we'll know because we are now subscribed, and it's just going to do a simple debug.log statement. Alrighty. So now we have to create a leave channel method. So we have the join channel. Let's do a leave channel real quick. Public void leave channel. I'm going to pass in a parameter for iChannel session. Call this channel to disconnect. Alright, and then in here we're going to do channel to disconnect leave channel. No, actually, I lied. Simply just disconnect. You can pass in, if you didn't see that, an async callback, but I'm just going to leave this null. And then we also have to go to the login session and then delete channel session, and we need the channel ID. So what you can do is right here where we made the channel ID, you can make it a global variable or put it up here so the whole script can access it. But there is also another way to do that, and that is to go new channel ID, and then we just got to pass in all the original data. So the issuer, the channel name, shoot, I should have thought about that. So you can also make the channel name a global variable up top here. So I'm just gonna do let's pass in a string which will be channel name, and then put that right here in channel name, and then pass the domain again. Alright, bam. Okay, and so that's basically it for joining and leaving a channel. Let me show you real quick though how to implement this in a UI. Okay, so to properly implement this into the UI, all I've done is I've created where we at? Okay, leave channel. I created a wrapper method called button leave channel clicked, and it takes the leave channel, it takes a current channel session, and then it takes a TMP input channel name dot text. So basically this text right here is going to take that input, and it's going to leave that channel. And then we also need to create a join channel wrapper method, public void button join channel, and then I'm gonna call the join channel method in here, and we're gonna pass the channel name. And so this is gonna be input channel name, and then I'm gonna get the text from that. Is audio, we're gonna put true here. Is text, we're gonna put true, and then switch transmission, we're gonna put true, and then the channel type is gonna be non-positional. And then we'll attach that to our button soon. So we got two buttons: button join channel, button leave channel. And then down here you'll notice that this text field, the channel name, and also for the username, but the channel name right here, when the connection state is connected for the on channel status changed method, when we're connected, it's going to do the debug.log statement connected, but it's also going to update the text for the channel name. And same thing with the logging in. Right in the logging in, I changed the username text to the name of the login person, so that's going to update as well. And I think we're good to go. Let's save that. Oh, and also the login username, I'm getting the username from the in input username.text. Okay, so this should work. Oh shoot, it's still still popping up this. I forgot to delete the code, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're gonna do login as John. So logged in, and you'll see down here we're logged in as John, and then we're gonna join a channel, channel 1. Okay. Oh, we have a null reference exception. Okay, so this null reference exception is because I put the wrong method on the button. I put the leave channel instead of the join channel. So let's handle that. Let's fix that. I gotta do it again. So join channel, because I was in play mode, and then the leave channel will go and put the leave channel, and then the login button is log in, and the logout button is log out. Okay, so everything should work now. So we're gonna log in as John. We're logged in again as John, and then do channel 1. You can't have spaces for names or channels, so I did the underscore. Join channel. Okay, so it says channel 1 disconnected, and then it's connecting, and then channel 1 is connected. So that was a whole lot of debug.log statements, but as you can see, it works. And then John, our UI is updated John, and channel 1 is where we're logged in at. So this is really basic. In the next video I'll show you how to do the group message, and then in the video after that, send direct messages. Hope y'all learned something. I basically just explained the Vivox documentation, so it's just if you just want to go visit the documentation and try to figure it out yourself, feel free. But yeah, alright, bye. If you stuck around this long, then I'm going to show you how to build it. You go to build settings, choose where you want to build it at. I'm doing PC, Mac, Linux, standalone. And we're going to do, we got to add the scene. So this scene is the sample scene. I didn't change the name. And then I'm going to do build and run. I'm going to create a new folder called build, and then select it, and then it should do its thing. I'm gonna let it do its thing real quick. Okay, so it did its thing, and now we have this really big screen, so I'm gonna use the Windows key to get out of here, close that, and in the player settings, to prevent that, you can go to resolution and presentation. Instead of full screen window, choose windowed. That's probably a good size. Running background. I also like to do the resizable window, and there's also some other options you can change if you want. Alright, and then I'm gonna rebuild that. Select my build folder. Alright, let it do its thing. Okay, so it loaded up, it built it, and I'm gonna enter the play mode real quick. I can't really give you a good example of it working, but if you try this for yourself, you'll see that it should be works. So we're gonna do just log in as J, enter channel 1. I'm gonna join it. I'm gonna go to the console. It says that we're connected, so that means it's working on the editor side. And then here we'll log in as R, and we'll also log into channel 1. And you should be able to hear yourself or someone else. That's if you're on the same machine. So what you want to do now is put so whatever folder this got built into, you're gonna want to go to that folder. So mine would be like my Unity folder, and then go to the project folder, then go to the build, take this, actually you're going to want to take all of this, and then put it on a USB, put it on a different computer, and test it. I want to say, because we got this from the asset store, and we're using the plugins, you can technically put this on your phone. There is one problem though, is you have to request permission to use a microphone. I'll show that in a different tutorial, or maybe just explain it if someone asks. Yeah, but and this should be able to work for Mac too, because we have the plugins. If you go to Vivox and then plugins, all these plugins, or at least maybe not Mac, but oh, what did I do? What did I do? Oops. Alright, I think I did something I didn't want to do. There it is. Okay. Throw that back over there. Alright, we're good to go. Anyways, yeah, so that's how you do that. Just wanted to add that in. So now you should have something very basic functioning, and hopefully y'all are excited to learn some more. Alright, see y'all. Bye.